You know, what really separates a manager from a truly world-changing leader, it's not the title, it's not the fancy office, it comes down to this one single, really powerful concept, Jimadari, which is all about responsibility. So let's break down what it means to be a CEO, not by your position, but by your mindset.
Okay, let's just dive right into the heart of it with this. Everyone in the world has a dream, but only a few make that dream their responsibility, and those are the people who change the world. This one thought, wow, it's the bedrock for everything we're about to talk about. It's that exact moment you pivot from just wishing for something to actually making it happen.
All right, so what does it really mean to have a dream versus taking on the responsibility for it? Let's get into that, because it's a huge distinction. See, a dream, it's kind of passive, right? It's a wish, a hope, something that just lives up here in your head. But the second you decide to take personal ownership of it, to make its success or failure your own, everything transforms. It becomes an active pursuit, a real driving force. And that decision right there is the first and most critical step you can take.
To really get a grip on this whole idea of leadership through responsibility, let's look at a pretty cool comparison, the traditional king versus the modern CEO.
Okay, so think about where their power actually comes from. A king's authority is all external. It's based on physical things like a crown, a throne, a huge army. But a CEO's power, that's completely internal. It all starts with just a thought, a vision, and that's what pulls the team together.
And you know, this difference in where their power comes from leads to a totally different scope. A king, he looks after his subjects inside his kingdom, and his dreams are usually about his own legacy. But the CEO's responsibility is to their people, their team, and because their power is just an idea, that dream has the potential to reach the entire world.
So how do you actually make that shift in your head? Well, it starts right here. The day you accept your team's mistake as your own, that is the day you become a leader. This is about radical accountability. It means the blame game is over and true ownership has begun. And then comes the second step, which honestly might be even harder. The day you give the credit for your team's victory to them, that is the day you become a CEO. Just think about that for a second. Taking all the blame and giving away all the credit. That's the moment your own ego gets out of the way of the dream. So, this whole transformation from just a dreamer to a real CEO, it doesn't come from a promotion or a new business card. It happens entirely inside your mind. It's all about the power of your own thoughts. Here's a really powerful way to picture it. Think of your mind, your whole way of thinking, as being like a super sharp sword. It has this incredible potential for both creation and, well, destruction. And you can swing that sword in one of two ways. With Choti Sach, or, small thinking, which is all about ego and blame, that sword actually turns back and harms you. But with Body Sach, or big thinking, that same exact sword can be used to carve out brand new paths for the whole world. So stepping into that true CEO role, it's not a passive thing at all. It requires some serious mental heavy lifting. Sharpening your intellect, constantly challenging your own biases, and disciplining your thoughts so they serve something bigger than yourself. Which brings us to the big question, right? If being a CEO isn't about the title, but all about taking responsibility, then who is the real CEO?
And here it is. This is the core idea that just flips everything on its head. The real CEO, they're not a Moloch, an owner who rules over everyone. No, the real CEO is a sevik, a servant. It completely redefines what power looks like. A servant to who, you might ask? Well, first, to their people, the team they build and lead. Then to their customers, the very people they're trying to help. And ultimately, to society at large, the world they want to change for the better. That is the true scope of their Jimadari.
And this is where it all just comes full circle. See, true power, being a true king, it's not about wearing a crown. It comes from taking on that responsibility for others. The servant leader, the real CEO, that person is the true king.
This whole idea suggests that the title of CEO isn't just for a handful of people in corner offices. It's really an open invitation for all of us. By choosing to make a dream your responsibility, by choosing to serve, any one of us can become that kind of world-changing leader. So the final question really isn't about them, it's for you. What dream are you going to take responsibility for?